When a threat from Otto Octavius's past returns and seeks a pound of flesh from Spider-Man, it will be Peter Parker who ends up paying the price. What'll happen next? Well, let's hop into the pages of Superior Spider-Man issue number 1 and find out what happens next together, shall we? So then, as we join this newest story, we actually begin things as far away from Otto Octavius as possible. Instead, we check back on in with Peter, the original OG Amazing Spider-Man, as he and his brand new protege stop a bank robbery pulled off by perennial D-list supervillain Mirage. Don't know who Spider-Boy is? Don't worry, because I didn't either, really. In short order, Dan Slott created the character for his brand new Spider-Verse series. Basically, he's a kid called Bailey Briggs who got spliced with spider DNA. He was actually Spider-Man's sidekick for a little bit during the Big Time era, but due to a totem dagger and some more Web of Life chicanery, he ended up getting deleted from everyone's memory a la the Sentry. But now he's back, and now he actually has his own ongoing solo series, and Dan Slott is clearly very proud of this character because he wanted you all to meet him right here, right now, in case you hadn't, like me. The pair managed to make quick work of Mirage, who eventually has to swallow the fact that he is indeed a D-list villain because he's so easily defeated by an actual child. Spider-Man and Spider-Boy decide to celebrate by stopping for some ice cream in Times Square. It's here they swap stories about times that they've had their entire memories messed with. For Bailey, he's still coming to terms with the fact that a huge chunk of his life is basically missing now and no one remembers who he is. While for Peter, he mentions to the kid that there was a whole stretch of time there wherein he was actually Doc Ock and his consciousness, well, was just kind of elsewhere in a strange heaven dimension wherein he got to live all the years he missed with Uncle Ben. A thing that seemed nice on the surface, but ultimately stung that much more when he ultimately did regain control of his body and now had 2 sets of memories that he had to sift through. This sweet moment of mentorship ends up getting broken up when Spider-Man and Spider-Boy come under attack by Supernova, aka Estrella Lopez, who, if you don't remember from that special Superior Spider-Man Returns one-shot, used to be Doc Ock's secret scientific apprentice, who had worked under him on an important fusion project during his time as the Superior Spider-Man, only to be jilted by Otto and eventually try the experiment herself, which backfired and turned her into a creature of pure energy. Otto would defeat Supernova and lock her away for years before eventually losing his own memories of the proceedings because of a deal he made with Mephisto. Man, you know what? Memory loss and amnesia just gets handed to you like candy when you're a Spider-Man, any Spider-Man for that matter. Of course, our Spider-Man Pete has never met Supernova a day in his life and has no idea why this lady is so pissed off at him and wants to kill him. Though he does hilariously bring up the events of Spider-Verse and say, hey, you know what? Sometimes there's a lot of different Spider-Man running around. Are you sure you aren't mad at one of them? It's also at this point, too, Otto finally makes his appearance, sending his brand new Octoids to record the fight between Spider-Man and Supernova from every angle so he can really enjoy it. Also, while Peter might be confused about who exactly Estrella Lopez is, surprisingly, someone isn't. Anne-Marie Marconi, Otto's former lady love, who actually ends up seeing the fight on television while having lunch with an ex-boyfriend who's trying to hire her for a brand new scientific endeavor. Naturally, she's reticent to do it because, hey, her office romances have been really bad. You know what? A+ for bringing Anne-Marie back again. She was seriously the secret ingredient that made the original Superior Spider-Man so great. Now, as the fight with Supernova and Spider-Man ends up raging on, a bunch of innocent people get caught in the crosshairs. It's here that Estrella even has to raise an eyebrow seeing this Spider-Man fight so hard to save people when the Spider-Man she knew was an unrepentant piece of shit. It's still not enough to try and stop her from wanting to kill Spider-Man, but eventually Peter does get the upper hand, dousing her with a bunch of water, allowing him to escape with the steam. Peter's next course of action is actually pretty simple, and you don't need to be a science genius to figure out what the play is. This lady's mad at Spider-Man, wants to kill Spider-Man, looks like Pete better lay low for a little bit and not put on the mask until she's dealt with. However, it's right around here things end up taking a really interesting turn. Peter demasks in an alley, not realizing that one of the Octoids was watching him the whole time. And once that little robot ends up reporting back to his master what he's learned, the floodgates really open. Otto remembers that Peter Parker is Spider-Man and that he was Peter Parker when he was the Superior Spider-Man. And it's on that note right there the comic comes to an end, everyone. And so that was Superior Spider-Man issue number 1. And I never thought I would say this, but this comic was actually pretty light on Superior Spider-Man and Doc Ock for like the first 60% of it. I mean, hey, don't get me wrong, after having to suffer through modern Spider-Man under Zeb Wells, it actually does feel like putting on a warm glove love to get to hear Slott write Spider-Man again. Which, yes, I know also might sound a little hypocritical because just like everyone else, I complained boatloads about Slott's last couple years on the Spider-Man book, but hey, absence makes the heart grow fonder, I guess. I can also pleasantly say I have no idea where the series is going from here. Otto isn't actually the Superior Spider-Man again, but the book is called Superior Spider-Man. Is he ever going to get a new Peter body? Or is this just going to be another Slott Spider-Man book under a much more recognizable name? And if so, is that going to end up chasing some people away? Also, while the book does devote a couple pages trying to get you up to speed on who Spider-Boy is and who Supernova is, gotta help you if you haven't been reading those books, because I think you're going to be a little lost otherwise. I guess if nothing else, we should count our lucky stars that they dispensed with the whole mystery angle of whether or not Otto was going to get his full memories back here in the first issue. He remembers his time as Superior Spider-Man. But is that like only a vague recollection of what exactly happened, or will he remember the important lessons in heroism he learned during that time, or is this series going to be about him having to learn all of that over again? I don't know. For what it's worth too, this first issue actually had a pretty solid backup story too, wherein we see Spider-Boy and Superior Spider-Man did actually meet each other once upon a time during a fight with Mr. Negative, only for both of them to end up losing their memories anyway. It actually serves as a nice little character piece for Otto, because even though he's bad, even though he's a darker, more angry Spider-Man, even he won't hit a child, even when that child and the negative energy from Mr. Negative is forcing him to relive chapters from his own life under his abusive father. There's also a pretty telling bit too where Otto screams at the kid, calling him a fake pretender Spider-Man, when you know those are feelings he has in the back of his mind about himself. Overall, a pretty damn decent first issue. I was just kinda hoping for a little bit more Otto and a little bit more Superior Spider-Man in the Superior Spider-Man book. Still, overall, I'd give this one a 7.5 out of 10, and I'm definitely going to be hopping back to the next issue to see what it has to offer. Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again, thanking you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not check out my Amazon link down in the description. Yes, that's right, the Cape Joel channel officially has its own Amazon storefront now. You can pick up a comic or anything else for that matter, and if you did, you'd really be helping me in the channel. So with that out of the way everyone, I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.